I don't know if anybody wants to pop in for a few minutes or not, but I'm going to keep on working here what I'm doing. Let me turn it this way. I was making a potato salad. And I know you won't be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm peeling eggs right now. Let me get my scrap bowl. Then I got my potato peelings. Now I got to get these eggs peeled. Get this made. It'll help out our supper. And if Terry's in the hayfield, this will be something I could take him with him and make him a sandwich or something. Get these peeled. Oh, there's Francis. Let me wipe my hands.
Rita.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm in the kitchen right now, but that's okay. So
that's fine.
You were sewing?
Well, I've been trying to get everything completely cut out before I sew anymore, but I did 3. Can you see them?
Oh, I see them. Yeah. I like them.
That's all I've done so far.
I'm going to do that pattern again someday because I like that one. I think it's pretty. So.
Yeah, I do too.
And hello to Sandra and hello to Katie Crafts and Kim. Well, I'd like to put them up on the screen, but I'm peeling eggs. Francis, you talk to them.
Do you have a hard time peeling those fresh eggs?
Well, not this morning. Sometimes I do.
The way I do mine, and they always come out pretty, is I put my water on and let it boil, come to a boil, and then I take a spoon and put my eggs down in the water. Then when I get them out, I put them in ice water.
All right. I start mine cold and let them boil, and then I turn it off, leave them, and then I put ice water. They're peeling pretty good this morning, but sometimes they don't.
I know. Especially if I forget to do it that way. But every time I've did it that way, they've always come out good.
Mm-hmm.
See, she showed back up, John.
Yeah, we missed you last night. Were you watching? Did you get to watch us last night?
Yeah, I watched some this morning. I turned my tablet off and left it off all night. And it started working back right this morning. Okay. But it was doing something I hadn't never seen it do. Is when I plugged in the charger, an alarm came up and said I had moisture in my charger. But now this morning, I do the very same thing and it don't do it. But I mean, every time I plugged it up yesterday, it did it. So I said, well, I'm going to cut it off and leave it off all night. And that's what did it.
Kim asked what I'm making. I'm going to make potato salad.
You are?
I've got my potatoes in there. They're already cooked, and I'm getting my eggs. So I've got the prep work already done. Won't take long to finish it now.
I'm trying to get up to where I can see your comments, but it takes me away.
Uh-oh, we lost you. There's a link pinned to the top. You guys can stream to your own channels and come up and talk. Let me dry my hands so I can get Francis back up here.
But I couldn't get it up.
I'd like to put those comments up on the screen, but I can't if I'm going to keep making my potato salad.
That's right. You must be having potato salad for supper tonight.
We will. And I thought it was something. Terry's gone to the hayfield, and it'd be something that'd be easy to carry to him to go with his sandwich or whatever. Like some deviled egg, just something easy.
Yeah.
He's gone to cut hay, and he just started his hay cutting this year. So knock on wood that everything works after not being used for several months.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been cutting things out because when I went and watched Jenny do it, she said for the stems to do an 8-inch, a 1.5 by 8 inch. I didn't read none of the comments, And I went back and started reading the comments. The girl says, the first person says, beware. An 8-inch stem is not long enough. It needs to be at least 8.5 inches.
Okay.
So I had to go back and redo all that.
Uh,
But I got a lot of stuff cut out. I got that many leaves cut out. I just got a bunch cut out, but I'm gonna make sure I got everything cut out before I do anything. I'm gonna do my 2.5-inch squares. I've already did about 15. Yeah, about 15 flowers with my stems cut out already.
okay. Move my scrap bowl. Potato peelings and eggshells in it.
I like to use the scrap bowl.
Up, you're gone again. And this is the pan I boiled my potatoes in, but I'm going to use it. Let me put Francis back up here. I got wet hands again. There you are.
I don't know why it went off.
I don't know either.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to get everything cut out. Maybe by tonight I'll be able to sew some, but I'm gonna try to get everything cut out and everything first. And I don't know how many flowers I need because I gotta look at her thing again. I think she went 6 across.
Yeah.
And either 6 or 7 down.
Do you not have that magazine of hers with the pattern in it?
No, I probably do, but I haven't been getting her books for a while now. God, they went up so high.
Well, I got them for a couple of years, and then there was so many in them that I hadn't made that I went ahead and canceled it.
That's what I did.
Because then I was finding free patterns and wasn't having to buy everything. So.
Yeah, and it used to be $5 to get it at $7.99 now for the book to order it.
Hello, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
How are y'all?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm all right. Sitting here sewing.
Rita's busy cooking, and I'm busy cutting.
Well, if I cook now, I won't have to later.
That's right.
As much.
That's right.
Well, I haven't had to cook the last few days. My husband's been out of town.
I can't hear her.
She said her husband's been out of town, so she hadn't had to cook.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Maybe that's what she said. Mine went to the hay field, so I'm going to make this, and then I'll have to go back up to the chicken house in about an hour to pick up eggs. So this is going to be a short pop-up. I'm not going to stay here a long time. Let's see. Me an onion.
What are you making, Rita?
I'm just making a potato salad. I'm making
Okay.
the refrigerator and
Rita, does your moisture control on your what's it called, John?
Incubator.
Your incubator. Does your moisture control keep dropping and you have to keep adding water to it?
I've added water several times.
I've had to add water every day.
Oh my! I wonder if that's why that first batch didn't hatch.
It says 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 of a cup. Well, I put 1/2 of a cup in it this morning because it was like down to 45%, and it needs to be at least 55%. So I put 1/2 a cup in it this morning. John put 1/4 of a cup in it last night, didn't you? Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that the water from the heat is evaporating fast.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And hi Justina, and hi Donna Armstrong, and Susan, and Kimber.
I got all coming through.
But the browser blocked you on your end, or have I done something over here?
Well, Rita, you hadn't touched nothing.
I know. I haven't. My
You're filling eggs.
and well, this is onion, but yeah, I thought. And Piggy's in the house. I'm gonna step over the refrigerator and get me some sweet relish to go in it. And then I think that's about all I'm gonna put in it, other than salt. Francis is talking, but can't hear a word she's saying. I'll be right back.
What she want?
She went to get some.
Okay, now I'm back.
Yeah.
I went to get sweet relish to go in my potato salad.
Can you hear me?
This is my homemade stuff.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I need to go on my tablet. I was on my phone. And my sister called. She says, just call me back later. See what my tablet's going to do.
Some salt and pepper.
Rita, my husband loves potato salad.
Mine does too, and I like it too.
Yeah, I like it, but not as much as he does. He could eat it every day.
Mine does too, and I like it too.
Yeah.
And hello to June Hansen and Yellow Shirt Dad. Any of you guys can come up for a little while if you want to. And hello to June Hansen and Yellow Shirt Dad and Kim.
I'm behind.
It's a new one, so many have a friend help me with a few settings.
I'm behind.
It's a new one, so many have a friend help me with a few settings.
I hear an echo.
Francis, have you got something else on?
I'm trying to, I'm not, I need to turn myself off. I'm trying to, I need to turn it off. I'm not, I need to turn myself off. I'm trying to, I need to.
Yeah, I think it was on her side.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Add me some celery seed and some other stuff.
How's the new baby?
It's doing good. Millie comes with me and the new baby. I don't get her very often.
Oh, is she a sweet baby?
Yeah, pretty sweet.
As far as sleeping and all that?
Pretty good.
That's good. One of my 3 didn't sleep, and I said everybody needs to have one of them. Know how it feels.
I know. My daughter, she was the oldest. She never slept. Wasn't taking a nap and wasn't sleeping in her bed.
That's the way mine
was. She was awful.
So was mine. But now, she's a sleeper. She's a nurse, so she works real hard, and she's on call a lot. She works in the heart cath lab. And when somebody comes in with an emergency, she has to go in.
Yeah.
So she stays busy, and I know she's tired.
I'm gonna take me a bite. See if I got it right. That's good.
That's when I like it, when it's warm.
Yeah. Put it in this bowl, put it in the refrigerator.
You know, you have a bowl that's a little bit valuable. You use a lot.
Which one is that?
The blue one.
That one?
Yes.
Well, now this is a reproduction, though.
Oh, it is okay.
Now I do have one that this same pattern that belonged to my great aunt, so I think it's an old one.
Yeah, I've got two, I think, kind of like that, but different sizes.
Okay. But I know which one you're talking about, and I use it pretty often because just me and Terry here, it's just kind of a little bowl that's a good size to use. But
yeah, it's so hard to cook just for two people, isn't it?
It is.
Especially when you're used to cooking for a crowd.
I remember when I first got married, I come from a family where there was 5 kids and my mom and dad, so there was 7 of us. And I remember the first time I fixed mashed potatoes, I peeled some mini mashed potatoes. I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't fix enough for just me and him. It was enough for the whole family.
That's the way I do a lot. Then I end up having to use them for something else, or I have made potato patties out of them.
Yeah, now I like those. Yeah.
They're good. Anything to keep throwing them away. Well, Francis is back.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna put that in the refrigerator. I'm gonna step out of the flame for a minute.
All right.
I'm still peeling eggs here because I think when I boiled eggs, I had a bunch of them, so I boiled enough for deviled eggs too.
Oh wow, he's gonna have a treat.
Well, I have a lot of eggs, so I can do lots of things with them.
Yeah, I would like to have chickens, but we live in the suburbs and we can have them, but I don't think my husband wants to fool with them.
We kind of like ours. They're kind of a nuisance, and the guineas make lots of noise, but I just like having them around.
Yeah, I like them too. My son he only has 6 hens. That's all he has. And when I go over there every few weeks, I get me some fresh eggs. Some days he gets 5, and some days he gets 6.
We got 19 babies. That's how old? About 3 months old. We got 18 hens and 22 that's about 3 months old, all females.
I've lost count of how many I've got down here.
You got a lot.
One rooster.
A lot.
And in the backyard, I got 1 rooster and 1 hen because they're silkies, and I keep them separated because they try to kill them. I don't know why.
Oh my goodness.
And Kim, I was so used to cooking for a bunch of teenagers when my husband passed, and it was just me, my mom and me. It was hard to relearn. Now it's just me and learning again. Now.
I had to set you down a minute. Put my what I'm sewing underneath the pressure foot. I hear your birds or somebody's bird.
Yeah, I think it's outside here. I still got that bird nest on the porch.
Well, we feed hummingbirds, and I filled it up yesterday. We have 3 feeders out right now. And do you know them suckers has already drank it down where I got to fill it up again? They've been busy.
Busy, they're hungry, yeah.
Yes.
I don't have any hummingbird feeders out. I used to, and then I just kind of quit doing it.
Oh, we love
I know I was one of them people that was bad to when it empty. I'd get busy and not get it filled back up.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have ours actually on the windows. And I can see, I have one right here in front of me, Let me turn it around and see if you can see it. Tell me if you can see it.
I can, yep.
Yeah. We've had 2 hummingbirds this year, and that's all. They're just kind of scarce this year for some reason.
I think Kathy,
we have a lot.
I think Kathy touched something. I can't cut my soup recipes down, so I share with the neighbor. Let me bring Kathy back. Hey, you touched the wrong button.
Evidently, when I turned it back around, because it's on my phone, my computer is just hooked up to my embroidery machine.
Okay.
So I don't use it for anything else but that.
And Donna Armstrong, her chicken pattern just came in the mail.
Oh, wow.
Have fun with it, because I should have. I'm going to make another one too. I've done got one in mind I'm going to make. And I hope I didn't anybody ask for one that I accidentally overlooked. If you ask me for one and you don't get it in a day or two, just ask me again, and might be lost in the mail, and it might be my mistake.
Well, I got mine a while back.
Because I tried to catch everybody that wanted one.
I haven't started one. I got too many other projects going. Do a craft show in the fall, and I got all that stuff I got to work on. Plus, I just finished that red and white quilt I showed you.
Uh-huh.
I just finished that for my friend. It's going to be a surprise for her birthday.
Oh.
And we've been friends for over probably 40 years.
Rita, did you finish the baby doll quilt?
No, but I've got 30 or 40 of them little pinwheels made. So I'm going to work on it some more. Have to do other stuff sometimes, though.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Kim.
Hi, Rita. I finally made it.
Good.
It was this phone.
Okay.
I had to change phones recently, and I'm having to get used to a whole new process. And let me tell you, for somebody my age, it is not easy.
No, I don't like changing or doing anything new. I can't do it.
But I'm doing fine with it, so I figure it's all good.
You want to come up and chat with us? Or Yellow Shirt Dad? I'm only going to be here 30 more minutes, and then I've got to go up to them long barns and pick up eggs in the other chicken house.
Oh, boy.
I know. I told my husband's cutting hay, so I told him I'd take care of the chores. Usually we do it together, but I told him to keep on cutting hay, and I do it.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
It is. I'm telling you. I ain't even supposed to be doing that this year, but with the new baby coming along, the son and his wife took over the contract, and then when things come up, then it got left to me, so we're part of it, left to us.
Well, are they going to share any of the profits?
They do. They pay us a percentage for using our facility. It's our building, so we get a percentage. But
oh, that's good. Yeah, because you supply all the electric and everything, don't you?
Well, they pay that. We just a little bit for using the building.
Okay, well, good.
Rita, how many chickens are in there?
Right now, they'll go out in a couple of weeks, and right now there's probably 7,000-8,000 hens.
Oh, my stars!
Yeah, and of course, we've hit the peak production, and they're going downhill now. So there's not a lot of eggs now, but you got to pick up eggs as long as they're in there anyway. So
yeah, how many eggs are you getting a day?
It's 3,000 or 4,000.
Wow!
Oh my goodness!
But it could be as much as 6,000 or 7,000. So,
oh mercy!
During the peak, but not now, because they're getting old and they look awful and not laying. They're laying like they're supposed to for their age, which is not. But
now, what happens to the chickens after they come and get them after they stop laying?
Well, they'll process them. They'll probably go on a can of chicken soup someplace.
Okay.
Because they're old tough hens by that time. So.
Yeah. Yep.
I can remember when we had chickens, and I think the most hens that we had at one time was about 75. And we only kept about 3 or 4 roosters, and we had 3 main breeds, but then they got all mixed up, and we had some gorgeous chickens. Mm-hmm. And we had mostly heavier breeds that were not only good layers, but they were good meat chickens too. Uh-huh. So when they get up certain size, especially the roosters, we took care of them, and I processed them. I had them in freezers. I canned them, and it made a big difference in the way that we did things. Yeah. But we got out of it. It just wasn't feasible to keep doing it. So, but while I had the laying hens, I did just fine on having eggs. I had one lady, she didn't want anything but brown eggs in her dozen. And I had some white egg layers. And of course, had some that they just laid a light brown egg, and she didn't want those. She'd start out my front door, and she'd look at her eggs, and she'd just start pitching her eggs. And I was like, hey, wait just a minute here. I said, if you don't want those light colored ones, I said, I'll short them on your dozen. But I said, you are not going to throw my eggs away. No. And she said, well, I don't care. She said, I'll pay you for the full dozen, but all I want is those dark brown eggs. She said, they're just better. And I said, oh, for Pete's sake, it's just the color of the shell. It don't make any difference in how they taste.
And do you get people that don't want the eggs if you got a rooster in there with them? If you got people
Yeah. We had one girl that she was like, no, she said, I don't want to buy your eggs. And I said, why? She said, because you've got a rooster in there. And I said, well, so? And she said, there's too much chance of those eggs having a blood spot or something in it. I don't want fertilized eggs. Yeah, well, fine. Go to the grocery store and buy them.
With blood spots.
Exactly.
How do you know it's got a blood spot in it? How do you know it don't have a little piece of grain in it? You don't know.
Exactly.
But I do like to break mine into a bowl before I put them into something or look at them first.
Yeah. See, that was one of the first things I learned when I was in an 8th grade cooking class back in 1968. And that would break your eggs into a bowl, because that way, if you get a piece of shell in there, it's easier to get out. You don't have to worry about a shell in a cookie or a cake.
I don't know how to get in there.
And even these that I'm looking at them, if it's got something I don't like the looks of, I'll just throw it out.
Yeah.
But so far, they all look pretty good.
Well, that's good.
But I do find them blood spots. No kidding. And to me, that's yucky. I'll admit, but I'm not going to eat it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, if I found any like that, we had a German Shepherd dog. And if I found one like that, I'd just mix it up in her dog food. And she had the most beautiful coat. Got along just fine. It's funny because I take her over to the vet. It's funny because I'd take her into the vet, and the vet would say, oh, you're giving her too many eggs. And I said, why? I said, how can you tell? He said, because her coat's looking way too good. I said, isn't that a good thing, though? He said, yes, it really is. He said, she can have 2 or 3 of them a day, and it's not going to hurt her any. He said, dogs aren't like people. He said, they don't have to worry about cholesterol. Well, okay.
They talk nowadays that they're not that bad for you anymore.
They're really not. That's an argument I have with my primary care physician every time I go see her. And that is the statement that it is not the cholesterol that you consume that causes a problem. It is the
Yeah.
fact that you consume too many carbohydrates and don't burn them off. So
Okay.
your liver takes advantage and says, oh, goody, let's turn this to fat and cholesterol.
Yeah.
The eggs are not bad for you. Bacon isn't bad for you. Whole milk and real butter are not bad for you.
But sugar
But
and
those are the things you need to lower your cholesterol.
mhm.
So I'm taking advantage of it. I'm eating what I want, when I want, and guess whose numbers are going down?
Down.
And I'm doing it without drugs.
Mhm.
So I'm all right. I just have to convince the doctor of that. She'll come around to my way of thinking eventually.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we lost Kathy.
Uh-oh. There went Kathy.
I didn't do that either. I was putting the comments up there. I'm gonna go find me another jar of mayonnaise. Look at that.
Uh-oh.
It's all gone.
Yes, ma'am. Francis, what quilt are you making?
The tulip quilt. Let me see if I can. I got 3 of the blocks made.
Yeah, that would be kind of yucky too, to find a partially formed chicken and egg.
Oh, that's pretty, Francis.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, yes, Susan, that'd be a little tough.
Yeah.
I never did find one of those. Praise God, I never had to deal with that.
I'll be back. I'm gonna go to another room, see if I can find some more.
All righty.
I hear chickens, rooster.
Yeah.
I love to hear them.
We had one that he had the prettiest crow. And that was the ugliest little rooster I've ever seen in my life. But he had the prettiest crow. And my husband went ahead and kept him because he liked the way that he crowed. He said, well, maybe we'll get lucky and he'll breed some more roosters that sound just like him. And we got lucky. And we did have one that sounded just like him. And we kept him. And Daddy went to freezer camp. And so it worked out okay.
Bless its heart.
What's y'all's weather supposed to be doing like today?
Mine is
Supposed to be
warm
getting
and
rain
sunny
tonight.
here in Georgia.
I know here
Georgia, just below Atlanta.
I'm in Independence, Missouri. I'm only about 11 miles from the Kansas state line.
And
And
we went to Independence. Oh gosh, probably 5 or 6 years ago. We were.
oh my goodness.
We were following Laura Ingalls' story.
Yeah.
And, we went to everything but one place. I don't remember where it was. We went to her house and everything.
Oh
was
my
really
goodness. Well, I've lived here in Independence since 2011. My mother and I moved to the Kansas City area in 2010. After I sold our farm, my husband died in 2008. It was just my mom and I. So I sold the farm and moved down here to be close to family. And we moved here to the Independence area in 2011. And I'm happy here. And I've just got a small apartment. Good morning, Gary. And I thoroughly enjoy living here. It's a nice place to live. I live in an area where I'm not too far from the highway, and at night I can hear some of the highway traffic, but the area itself is quiet, and I like it here. And Independence and Kansas City both have so much history in it, and I absolutely love history, but I haven't been able to get out and really go to places like I really wanted to, and due to health reasons. But I'm getting out a little bit more, and got a good report yesterday from an ultrasound that I had to have, or CAT scan I had to have done. They said they found absolutely nothing wrong in my heart. They couldn't understand why the doctor had even asked for it. And I was just sitting here in my apartment saying, yay, praise God, you did your job. You healed it like you were asked.
Isn't that
So
true?
it's all good.
And I think sometimes them doctors just send you for tests just to make them more money too, though. I do.
Well, he had,
People for no reason.
yeah. Well, right at first, he had reason to believe that there was an issue because my heart had slowed down. It was only functioning at 50% of what it needed to be. And yesterday they said, your heart's just fine. They said, everything is working just exactly like it's supposed to be. They said, you've got a little bit of a plaque buildup. And then when I told them that I had just recently quit taking calcium supplements at my primary suggestion, they said, and within a short amount of time, if you leave the supplements alone, that plaque will all go away. They said, and you will be just fine. And so, but I had some pretty serious surgery last October, and I figured, okay, this is just part of the healing process. This is why I am so tired all the time. And no, but God saw fit to leave me here, apparently to irritate my children. And so I just figure that's all right. There's one I still have not thoroughly embarrassed yet. That's my main goal. So I still got time to do that.
Yeah, I still
I don't mean that seriously.
And I forgot to mention it, but if y'all type hen, it'll drop your link to your channels. I forgot to mention that.
Hello, Patty Jean. Oh, I think that's awesome, Susan, year out. I took so many history classes when I was in high school. I never did go to college. That just was not something that I wanted to do. Yes, Randy, I am just old. I am 68, but I know what it took me to get here, and I have earned every one of these white hairs on my head.
And what did they say? That's better than the alternative, ain't it?
Exactly. I am still above dirt.
Well, you and I are the same age. I'm 68 also.
Oh my goodness, that's wonderful.
I'll be 69 in October.
I just turned 68 in March. Hi, Sheila.
Okay, well,
Kathy, ain't it amazing? Ain't it amazing what we can get by with at this age?
I'm telling you.
I like my age. I'm 64, but I kind of like this age.
I do too.
I didn't have as many aches and pains, but
I'm 70.
Well, Frances, I'd have never believed it.
No, she doesn't look 70.
Yep. I'll be 71 in January.
Well, that's awesome.
I feel every bit of it, though.
I know the gals at the hospital.
I can't do what I've got to sewing a binding on. I got to pay attention to what I'm doing.
okay.
See you ladies later.
See you later.
Have a good day, Kathy.
Thank you. You too.
No, I'm not going to stay on here but a little bit longer because I said I got those chores to go do.
Yeah.
But not
Well,
till '65, almost 66, and still working at a grade school as a recess supervisor.
oh my goodness.
How do you keep up with them kids? There you go, Kim. He thought you were 84. I'll tell you, somebody
Randy, watch it.
needs to spank him or something.
I know how to get a hold of Shannon still. No, Randy, I'm not 84.
I boiled eggs and potatoes, and I made deviled eggs and potato salads what I made this morning.
You've been busy.
Because I don't want to have to cook everything this evening.
I don't blame you. Rita, are your temperatures getting high down there?
Are my what?
Are your temperatures getting pretty high down there?
Yes, they are. But it's kind of funny. It's up and down, up and down. You know, it's crazy weather. Don't seem even normal hardly.
That's the way it is here, up and down, up and down. One day it's cold, next day it's hot.
Yeah. The last few days here, it's been in the about mid 80s, up about 87 was the highest. Today it was supposed to be cooler, but I was out a little while ago and took trash out to the dumpster, and it was so humid, and I thought, nah, I'm not going anywhere today. I'm staying right in my apartment with the air conditioning, and that's where I'm going to stick. It's too hot to be out running around. And I feel bad. There's a work crew up working at the apartment complex right next door to me. And those guys are working out there in that heat and that sun. And I'm just like, and they've got those great big water coolers sitting out there, and they're hitting it heavy already this morning. So I hope they're able to knock off at a halfway decent hour this afternoon before it gets too terrible hot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that stuff on anybody.
Well, my husband's in an air-conditioned tractor, so he's okay.
Well, that's good.
Good. Hey, we used to not always have a cab tractor, but
Yep.
hey, you what? You get used to one. Them other kind makes it hard. And
Yeah.
there's my deviled eggs.
Oh, those are pretty.
Well, no, they're not pretty, but they're just for our everyday meal. So I'm gonna step on and stick this in the refrigerator.
I'm gonna be able to do this with Steven's name on it.
Now I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna sit down a minute so my feet won't be tired when I have to go stand and pick up eggs.
There you go.
Rest for 10 or 15 minutes.
I remember the tractor that we had. My husband and I had a logging business for a few years. And the tractor was mine. And it was a big John Deere, but it did not have a cab on it. And even in the summertime, we would be out working in the timber between 5:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning. And so that we could knock off by noon. And that tractor was mine. And I loved it. And I also learned how to operate our bulldozer. I could move the log truck, but I would only drive it on the field. I didn't have a CDL license, and I didn't want one. I didn't want to drive that thing fully loaded.
No.
And
Randy's going back to work Sunday, heading to Albuquerque.
well, it's about time you go back to work, Randy. I think you've had long enough vacation now. Just get yourself back to work.
Well,
It'll be on till January.
and Gary, we're at 85 degrees due to rain earlier, and we're expecting storms around 6.
Oh my. What part of Florida are you in, Gary?
He'll have to tell you because I don't know.
I can't remember where he said he was at.
I don't recall. So
I have a cousin.
too many of us to remember every little detail sometimes.
Yeah. I have a cousin that lives in she was living in Jacksonville. She may have moved by now. But and I had a sister-in-law that lived in Chilhowatha. And
he said Fort Myers on the West Coast. That's where he's at.
I have a friend that had to go down around that area for a conference for the company he worked for a few years ago. He said it was a nice area, but he preferred the part of Illinois that he lives in. So he was glad to get back home.
Jesus Christ.
I bet after living up here in Arkansas and some of them places, I bet Florida and them would look so much different. And I've never traveled any place. I've always been a homebody, so I can't imagine what places even look like.
Yeah. I guess I'm kind of a transplant. Well, I know for the state of Missouri I am. I was born in Kansas. I was raised in Denver, Colorado. I married a Missouri guy, and he moved me to Missouri within just a few months after our wedding. And I literally cried for 4 years saying, I want to go home. And he kept saying, oh, but you are home. I said, no, I am not. I said, I'm looking out a west window. I don't see mountains anywhere. I ain't home. But this is home now. I've been here since 1978. This is where my children and my grandchildren are. It's where my best friends are. And I'm happy here. And I have finally adjusted to the weather.
Okay.
And so
is the weather
we have a good day.
Much different than Colorado though? I mean, where you're at
Yes, it is. Missouri's humidity is a lot higher, so the temperatures are a lot different. Colorado is a much drier climate, so I can remember going outside in literally 32 and 33 degree weather, in shirt sleeves and helping my dad work on a vehicle. I have been skiing up in the mountains in a sweater and jeans. It's a much different climate.
It does sound a lot different.
But now the heat, as far as the downtown Denver area was concerned, I worked on Capitol Hill for several years. I worked in the tax office, and it would get up to 104 degrees down there on those city streets, and it was unbearable heat. And so the summers, I don't think were as hard for me to adjust to as the winters.
Okay.
But I've adjusted now, and I look at it like this. I'm a quilter. I know how to make clothes. And so if I get cold, I got plenty of quilts I can wrap up in.
Yeah, I think it's easier to get something and get warm than it is to cool off if it's too hot.
Oh,
yeah. I think I can
there's a limit as to how much you can take off legally. And be seen in public. And I'm just like,
it's still hot though, even when you.
Hi, Lois.
Yeah. Happy Friday to all, and happy Memorial Day weekend. And Susan Year Out was Washington State born and raised, and Awkward Quilter. Hi, Rita and ladies, just dropping by to say hi and listen for a while. And I keep watching the time. I think I've got 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna. I'm in and out all the time. I tell you, it's a wonder I get anything done.
Well, Rita, I think I finally have the fabrics picked out that I'm going to do that chicken quilt with. And I'm going to use some of my 1930s reproductions. And what's funny is that I have in my possession some of the original prints that Aunt Grace's were taken from.
Oh.
And you can't tell the difference. They belonged to my grandmother. And I have the quilt top that she started in the 1930s. And I'm finishing it. And she started it when she was carrying my mother. And of course, after Mom was born in 1932, Grandma didn't have time to finish it. So I've got it now to finish. And my mom's youngest sister looked at my work and my grandmother's, and she pointed to one block and she said, well, that's your grandmother's work. And I said, And she said, what? And I said, no, Aunt Seal. I said, that's mine. And she said, you have done well. She said, your grandmother would be proud. And I had figured out her tiny stitches. And I also figured out how my great grandmother was able to piece a quilt completely blind. I have the quilt that she made, and she was totally blind.
Well, how did she do
that? Her fingertips were so sensitive. I have fibromyalgia, and it's the first time I was thankful for it. My fingertips are so sensitive, I can feel where the edge of the fabric is, and I know where the needle goes. and I can sit here and sew without paying attention. And all of a sudden I run out of fabric and I look down and I'm like, wait, how did I do that? And it finally dawned on me. Now I know how my great grandmother did it.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt told me I have matched her stitches as well. So apparently I'm doing something right.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Susan, you're out. So that's so nice, Kim. You love that story. That is a sweet story. And we do want to see your chickens when you get them started.
Oh, just as soon as I can, I will get them up. And I'm going to have to sync my computer with this new phone, but I'll get it.
You'll get it.
Eventually. Yeah. So,
when some of them young ones come by to help you, you'll get it.
Truthfully, I have an 8-year-old grandson that he loves quilting and he loves to cook. And it is so funny. He is such a little sweetheart. He's autistic and he also has ADHD. And he is one of the sweetest.
Too. He just turned 9 and he is so smart.
That's the way my Kasten is. And Kasten will come through the door. Smart. He comes in and he'll kick his little shoes off and he'll say, well, Grandma Kim, what are we cooking today? Can we make biscuits? Because he loves making biscuits.
Rita, my grandson, the one you saw.
Yeah, we met him. He was sweet. Yeah, he was real sweet. Yeah, her parents come on the screen with her the other night, so we saw him.
Well, Kasten made his first quilt block here at my house. I let him use my big sewing machine, and I operated the foot pedal, but he did the rest of it. Okay. And I have a picture of him with that first block, and he told me the last time they were here, he said, Grandma, I really need to make more of those quilt blocks. I said, well, okay. He said, I think I'm going to need about 99 more to get the quilt that I want. I said, really, Casey? 99? He said, oh, yeah, I think that's going to take that much. He said, but I think you probably have enough scraps because you do have a collection. I said, yes, I do.
He's an electronics person. He can do anything on the phone you want to do. He can do anything on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
He could probably take it apart and put it back together.
That's the Kasten is very much that way. My 2 oldest grandsons, the one that is now 17, when he was 5, he told me how to straighten out a problem on my computer when they were at my house one day. I couldn't get something to work, and he said, well, Grandma, let me try. I said, Brendan, honey, you're only 5. Oh, that's okay. Dad's in IT. I can do this. And he fixed it.
Oh.
And when his parents came to get him, I told my daughter what he had done. And she said, Brendan, did you have Grandma's permission? I said, yes, he did. And I said, he fixed it. And
that is so great.
He looked at his mother and he said, see, Mom, I told you.
Yeah.
So, and he's 17 now.
Okay.
And 6'2.5". I have giants.
Yeah. Big boys. Yeah. All my grandsons are all taller than me now. I know the oldest one is, and the middle one, every time he comes up to me, I said, I'm almost tall as you, Grandma, and the other one's getting there, but
I have a 9.5-year-old granddaughter that's 1.5 inches taller than me. Wow. I am exactly 60 inches tall.
60 inches. Do the math.
Exactly 5 feet.
Okay.
And my oldest daughter is 5'10". Her husband is 6'1". Their boys are 6'3.5" and 6'2.5". My youngest daughter is 5'7". Her husband is 6'2". The oldest granddaughter is 5'1.5". The grandson comes to right here on me, and he's just 8. The 7-year-old is to here. Thank goodness I can still hold that 6-month-old baby.
Yeah. Let me say hi to Chloe. Chloe's in here, girl who draws. But I'm fixing 3 or 4 more minutes. I've got to go, but I may come back after a while if my husband stays out in that hay field. I may pop up and pop down all day long. That's okay, ain't it? I've got him something to eat. I'm gonna take care of him. He'll be all right. So
there you go. Well, isn't that our main goal? We're supposed to take care of him and keep him fed.
Yeah, he's a whole lot easier to get along with if I keep him fed. He really
I
is.
know.
Don't
It's
complain
amazing how that works.
about nothing. All he wants is something to eat. So
Yep. Yep.
let's see. My son was under the table paid computer consultant for the county PUD when he was in 6th grade. Wow.
Wow. That's awesome, Susan.
5 3/4 and shrinking. I used to be 5'2", but I don't think I'm 5'2" anymore.
I used to be 5'4". I'm 5 foot now.
Oh.
The older you get, the more you shrink.
Uh-huh.
I was 5'3.5" when I got married in 1978. And because of osteoarthritis and degenerative disc disease, I have shrunk.
I got it all too. I got about every kind of arthritis you can think of. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it hurts.
Well, Chloe's got an aunt that's 4'8" shrinking. Boy, she's a little bitty thing.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but see my hands? See the arthritis?
Mm-hmm. Mine are beginning to look that way, Francis.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, we've earned every bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they took the bone out right here.
Mhm.
I have let me see if I can get it in the camera. I got a bone. Well, I can't get my hand turned. I have a bone right here.
Mm-hmm.
See it? Well, in this hand, I don't have it. They took it out. They ain't taking the other one out, though.
I don't blame you.
I
don't
can't
blame
hardly
you.
pick up nothing heavy with this hand or anything, and they ain't doing me. They ain't doing my other one. I told them, no way.
I've had carpal tunnel surgery on both hands.
Yeah.
And I have full range of motion, but my strength is not what it could be.
No,
I've
mine
gained
isn't
most
either.
of it back, but they say it's about 90% of what I did have. So I really have not lost as much as most people do, but it's still, of course, my skillets all have that little helper loop on the end of it. And if all else fails, I have a young man in the building that I can call and say, hey, would you come lift a pan? And if either of my son-in-laws are here, if either of my son-in-laws is here, I'm like, hey, come help. And where they're so much taller than me.
Helps me because I cannot lift anything up in the cabinets.
Mm-hmm. I have a step ladder for when I'm alone, and otherwise, if I've got somebody taller here, I'm like, hey, come here. I need help on the top shelf.
Yeah.
That's what I do because I have a step
And
ladder.
then my son-in-laws laugh at me.
And and ladies, it's 12:30.
Yes, it is. And you have a husband to feed and work to do, darling.
I've got to go up to that other chicken house. I really do. I think when I told you I was coming up, that I told you it's just going to be an hour. Didn't I post that?
Well, Rita, do y'all have meat chickens or do you have egg layers?
They lay eggs, but the eggs go to a hatchery that raises the broilers that they process to go in the groceries for the grocery stores for the meat chickens, for the meat.
Okay. So
Does that make
your chickens?
Does that make any sense?
Chickens too, and then bring new ones.
Yeah, when they bring us pullets, and then a few weeks later they start laying the eggs, and they pick up the eggs on a semi truck and take them to the big hatchery where they're hatched, and then they go to the broiler farms where they're raised up to be processed for meat to go in the grocery stores.
Because I don't know if you know the farming preacher's wife, Leslie.
Okay.
They raise meat chickens.
Okay.
And theirs is organic. They have to go through so many, inspections and all because of them being organic. Yeah, they raise meat chickens, but maybe sometime you can go over to her site. It's the farming preacher's wife.
Okay.
And her name is Leslie, and he is a preacher. And they farm. He's doing hay right now.
All right. Kathy, I'm 5'1" and have a disc problem and had surgery 2 years ago, and the arthritis really bad also, and her hands hurt a lot.
Oh, yeah.
and Chloe's been pulling weeds. Anyway, I do have to go, ladies, but
Yeah,
we'll meet
you do.
up. Okay, bye, y'all.
You have a wonderful day. Bye.
Good night, I guess.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay.